Welcome to the Undiscovered Gems podcast, hosted by NBA legend and business powerhouse Charles D. Smith, highlighting today's best and brightest business minds.
Hi, and welcome to another show of Undiscovered Gems. My name is Charles D. Smith, and I am your host. Today we have an acupuncturist. She uses acupuncture to help you live a young, healthy quality of life. And we're going to talk about all of that. We have Miss Dr. Kelly. She works out of New York City. She's been doing it for many years, and she's going to share her knowledge, her expertise, and her love for doing acupuncture. Dr. Kelly, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Charles. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, So, Dr. Kelly, acupuncture. Why don't you tell us, how did you get to be an acupuncturist and be as good as you are?
Actually, the reason why I started to learn Chinese medicine is because I had a lot of acne for many, many years. So at the beginning, just like majority of the people, I went to dermatologist. But after I have been using years of like hormone related cream and take antibiotics, they told me I have to continue use it for the rest of my life. I'm like, I don't want to use it for the rest of my life. They say if you want to get under control, you have to use it. That's why I stopped using the cream, the antibiotics, but my face bounced back 10 times worse, than before. So that's why I started to seek Chinese medicine treatment. And the doctor I went to actually didn't help me at the beginning, but I didn't lose hope. I went to Chinese medicine school in New York, learned by myself to get my doctorate degree of Chinese medicine. Then I treated myself. I basically my face, is way better compared to before. That's how I got into Chinese medicine field.
Wow. Can we start with that? Because I think that's an amazing story. I cannot orient to acne and acupuncture healing it. So can you talk about that? How did the acupuncture heal your acne? What did you do? How does that work?
So Chinese medicine and Western medicine are different. Chinese medicine think about acne. There could be different cause. One cause is stress. When we cannot dealing with the stress, we can have liver qi stagnation, or liver failure. So when we have the liver qi stagnation, basically means, the qi and blood cannot move smoothly in our body. So one symptom can showing on the face is acne. It just cannot move. So we have acne, it's red, it might be itching, even painful. Another reason can be some internal heat, could be from the food, could be, from different kind of reasons. So Chinese medicine basically smooth the liver qi, like get rid of the stress. So get rid of the heat. So Chinese medicine basically it adjusts our body's balance. If you're too cold, we warm you up. If you're too hot, we cool you down. So that's how I treat myself. Then I do get better, and my skin actually is better compared with 10 years ago.
So, Chinese medicine, acupuncture, you hear a lot about it. It can treat all, and it's more natural treatment. It's the body helping the body heal itself through herbs and natural treatments. I would expect that many people come to you with all sorts of problems for you to solve. is there anything uh, that you feel that a lot of people have that can be treated with Chinese medicine or acupuncture? Like you see high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol levels, all those, high functional illnesses that people have. Do people come to you with those?
Yes. Actually, I have a whole family coming to me for all kind of different problem. So
Wow.
the father actually he has acid reflux. So he has the pain like all the way from the throat down to the stomach. It's so painful he couldn't fall asleep. But
Oh.
after he saw his doctor, they did X-ray, they did all kind of tests. They couldn't figure out what's wrong. So they said the best we can give you is painkiller. But
Hmm.
yeah, but my patient said I took it, it didn't really help. So the father came to me. I, visually like check the tongue, check the pulse, ask the questions. Then I
Mm-hmm.
said, actually, your acid reflux is because of the stress. He had a lot of
Ah,
stress from work. So
right.
I got rid of his stress. So his acid reflux is gone. He has no pain. He can fall asleep.
Wow. And did you treat that through medications, herbal medications, or acupuncture?
So I did acupuncture, but he's so busy. Sometimes he couldn't get in. So I said the best we can do is if you cannot get in, you also take some herbal formula. So I gave him a very simple formula, and he took
Mm,
it. So his acid reflux went away. Doesn't bother him anymore.
that's incredible. And Dr. Kelly, how long have you been practicing?
I have been practicing for many years.
Really? Over 20 years?
No,
Okay. Over 10 years.
I would say about.
Okay. Very good. So you're located in New York City. Um, what are some of the symptoms that you feel that are easily you have simple solutions for that most people don't know?
Well, the simple solution is go to sleep before 11 p.m.
Really? Why is that?
So the reason is our organ all have the peak time to functioning. So for example, liver. The liver peak time according to Chinese medicine is 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. So to make sure your liver can detoxing, rejuvenate the blood, you got to already fall in sleep between
Hmm.
1 a.m. and 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. So if you go to sleep late, which means your liver qi will be stagnant. Actually, that's one of the major reasons a lot of people got depression because they don't sleep at night. They stay up until 5 a.m. Then next day they don't have energy, they don't go out, they're not active, they're still lying on bed until like afternoon.
Hmm. So you would tell people from the start, go to sleep by 11 p.m. You would tell them
Yes.
that okay. Um, do you when people come to see you, do you do any type of intake form, any information that you gather on their family history? Because I'm trying to see, do you function so similar to regular doctors? They want to know any medications you're taking, your family history, other illnesses. How do you work with someone when they first come to see you?
Yes, actually, I do have an intake form the patient need to fill in for the new patients. For example, their chief complaint, for how long, when it's getting worse, like what you do can make it better. Second chief complaint, for how long, third chief complaint, I will ask like how is their appetite, how is their digestion, how is their bowel movement, how is their
Hmm.
sleep. For women, I will ask like when the first time you got your period, Is it regular? How many days? Like, do you have cramp? So from all the question, I can have a general idea, what's the cause of the problem, where it come from, how do I treat it. I also ask the family history, like, how about the parents? Do they have, any high
Hmm.
blood
Okay.
pressure, heart disease, to help me to give a diagnosis?
So thank you for that. Now, one of the things you treat is erectile dysfunction. I don't necessarily want to talk about that, but I want to talk about the root from a lot of things like that in men and women. And people talk about your chi. Can you explain to the audience what that actually is?
Actually, that's is something actually happen to a lot of people, even like young people. For example, I have a patient. She is only like 30, so not old, right? Not old, but she
Mm-hmm.
had a heavy, big, like dark eye bag, and
Mm-hmm.
make her look like way older than her age. So
Sure.
usually that caused by like spleen Qi deficiency or kidney deficiency.
Mm-hmm.
So how can people get that, right? One thing, just like what I talk about, they go to sleep late. When you go to sleep late, it will damage your kidney. You will lose the qi and blood you're supposed to have to supply for your
Mm.
whole life. It's like you put money in the bank, but you withdraw quickly, more early.
Sure.
You're supposed to use
Sure.
for your whole life. Now you use it up like in your early 20s, 30s. You don't have any money left when you are like 90s.
Right. Right. Um, so explaining the chi, is it about your blood flow? You mentioned blood. Can you elaborate on that? Because my understanding is that when people get acupuncture, it's part of the reason is the flow of their body is off or something like that. Can you explain that?
Yes. So think about this like a balloon, right? When you first filled in air, the balloon is like full, beautiful. But when we get into a little bit aging, it's like the air losing out, leaking out from the balloon. Then we start to have wrinkles, we start to have sagging. So it's like you
Hmm.
don't have so much qi and blood anymore when you start to aging after, 30, 40, or 50.
Hmm.
Chinese medicine, acupuncture, what we can do is kind of like put more air into the balloon. So the balloon is
Ah,
like, falling again. That's why like people come in for like facial rejuvenation. How, how can they look like younger again? Because doing the acupuncture or herbs, you kind of have more qi and blood in your body, make you like the wrinkles not, so obvious anymore because it's kind of like a balloon. You put in more air again. That's how
hmm.
acupuncture and other like herbal do. So qi usually people translate into energy. So it's like
Energy.
you
Okay.
have energy to do things. Like people who have like qi deficiency, usually they may have like wrinkles or sagging even at a young age. That's
Right.
not really rare actually. A lot of young people, they don't look like their age. They look older because
Hmm.
by like not staying, not going to sleep at a certain time, like not eating proper food, then your energy is kind of like leaking.
Right. Can people reverse their some of the processes? You just mentioned that people will come in, they look a lot older, bags under their eyes. Um, so if someone was feeling a certain way and had a certain look, coming in and getting multiple treatments from you, do you actually see the reverse taking place and they begin to look younger after so many treatments? The bags under their eyes start to dissipate and they start to look rejuvenated and younger. You see that happen?
Yes, actually, the patient I mentioned, the 30-year-old girl, actually, the first time she came in, I was surprised. I'm like, is your birthday is 1993? She said, yes.
Wow.
But look at her, I'm like, you look like 10 years older. Of course, I didn't say it. So,
Right,
but
right.
yeah, but I know that from, her spleen and kidney deficiency. So I tonify her spleen, tonify her kidney. The next time she came in, I was surprised her eye bag is so much less. Just one treatment.
And what treatment did you give her? What was it?
So I basically very simple. I didn't really use any facial actually points. I just used the points on the leg to tonify the spleen. I use the points on the leg to tonify the stomach, and to there's one good point called stomach 36. So it's a very famous point. People call it a longevity point. So give you
Hmm.
more qi and blood. So I use the point on the feet to tonify her kidney. So I basically
Mm.
tonify her kidney, tonify her spleen, and tonify her chi and blood. That's how just one treatment she looks so much younger.
Wow. And when you say points, you're talking about acupuncture points. Is that correct?
Yes, acupuncture points. They have like a
Okay.
13 location on our body.
Hmm. Okay. Great. Why don't you give the audience a description of your company and actually what it is that you do, just an overall description.
Yes, so my office is at 121 East 60th Street, 2A, New York, New York. And I do acupuncture, I do herbal formula, gua sha, and cupping. Um, so all these meds, I do also moxibustion, which is one of the very good way to tonify qi and blood for patients who come in for infertility. And
Mm.
for people who are very weak, like for example, I have like a patient. He's almost 80 years old, and he had coughing for like more than 20 years. And then he went to tons of doctors, including Chinese medicine doctor, Western doctor.
Hmm.
Nobody can get rid of his cough. But when he came to me, after checking the pulse, check the tongue, I diagnosed he has cold in his lung, and he had, deficiency
Sure.
of qi and blood. So I use acupuncture, I use cupping, I use moxibustion on him. His 20 years cough went away.
Wow, that's awesome. You're an incredible practitioner of a natural way of people getting healed. Can you explain? I never heard of GUA Gong Sha. What is that?
Gua sha. So gua sha usually we use jade. So the stone, which is very cooling, and so usually I gua sha on the back because on the back,
I understand. Yeah.
yeah, on the back we have the UB channel. So the UB channel on the back, they have a lot of points actually can related with our organs like heart, liver, spleen, kidney. So when I do the gua sha on the back, I kind of like get rid of toxin from their organ,
Right.
and also tonify the qi and blood, and also release the muscle tension. So actually, a lot of people love the gua sha, and especially to the young kids. Like I have a young kid coming, they may afraid of acupuncture, but the gua sha, they love it. Like I treated the like young kids, like they got like high fever, coughing, sneezing. I did gua sha, so the
Hmm.
common cold went away.
I see. So, with your practice being in New York City, uh, what are there are certain ailments, with you got COVID, you got different ailments because New York City is very dense. You got kids that are always coughing. I call it the kid cough because they're in the schools. So, do you treat? Is there a certain age group, a young group that you would not treat? Do you treat babies? Do you treat little kids, or you just stick with adults?
Actually, I treated the youngest one like 4 year old. The
Hmm.
oldest one is like 80 something. So I don't really say, oh, only adults come in. Any people come in,
Okay.
you're welcome. because we have different kind of methods we can use on people. Like for young kids, we can use gua sha, a little bit of Chinese medicine massage can help them. Cupping, usually kids also love it.
Hmm.
For older people, they actually love acupuncture because they feel very relaxed and they feel have
Sure.
more energy after acupuncture. So anybody, you're welcome to come in.
Great. Did you have a mentor growing up that helped you get into this? I know you mentioned acne, but since you've been in the business, did you have any mentors helping elevate your expertise in your craft?
Actually, I found out my I Ching teacher, some people call it I Ching. So, I Ching is basically the most ancient Chinese philosophy, just telling people about the
Oh,
principle
okay.
of the universe. So, I met my I Ching teacher several years ago, and he had been teaching actually I Ching for free for more than 10 years. Um,
Mm,
so I feel very grateful after I started the online class with him, and he have a lot of students everywhere in the whole world. I apply what he taught in the class when I treat the patients. For example, when patient come in, they say, "Hi, Dr. Kelly, I feel very sad because my husband doesn't spend any time with me. Like, after he come back home, he just sit on the couch, watch a movie or something. I feel very sad. Of course, there's something off with the patients because they feel so sad, even they feel the heart pain, which their cardiologist already checked. There's nothing wrong with their heart, but
right.
the reason why they have heart pain is because of the emotional stress from the marriage. So I use
Mm,
acupuncture to treat the patient, release some stress. I also talk to them. I said, look, I'm learning I Ching, right? My teacher told us about the marriage. Basically, not only specific about the marriage, it's about how we should dealing with this world, how should we dealing with the problem. So yes, your husband doesn't speak with you a lot, which make you sad. I understand, but you also need to understand your husband, work at a big company. He has a lot of stress also. He might be
mm,
very tired after a day. He may be argue with his boss, argue with his coworker. He may had a bad day, right? So after come back home, he may just want to relax. So give him that peaceful time for himself first. Let him relax, unwind a little bit. Then maybe you can just sit there with him. Don't have to, have a conversation with him. Just sit there, accompany him. He will realize you are such a, lovely wife. You can understand him.
mhm,
He will change. He will change his attitude. You will have a better marriage.
right.
So that's from my mentors teach, like apply the I Ching philosophy to treat my patients.
Right. You're a doctor and a therapist. You know, so Dr. Kelly, you mentioned stress a lot. I heard you, that word has come up so much. Would you say that stress is the baseline factor for a lot of illness and a lot of your treatment, that you look at stress first?
Actually, that's kind of true. In Chinese medicine, we kind of like think a lot of disease, a lot of sickness is coming from emotional stress. You know,
Hmm.
it can be from like, not happy in the marriage or not happy with parents, or you have argument, with your coworker, or your kid not listening to you. All the stress, if we cannot really manage, then that can cause a lot of problem, like you know depression or
Hmm.
anger, or even like acid reflux, or even irritable bowel syndrome, or even like infertility. Even like we talk about ED a little bit. Some guy, the young guy, have ED. Let's one of the reason is stress. Their work is just too
Mm,
much. They cannot handle. So then let stress kind of like cause the liver qi stagnation. Like the qi and blood cannot move in their body. So there's not enough qi and blood to go there. That's why they have the problem.
mm. So I just had a thought, and I'm going to make a brash statement, and you can correct me. I've heard so much about U.S. practice in medicine. We focus on the physical, and I hear a lot about Chinese medicine focuses on the emotional more than the physical. Would you say that that's somewhat accurate?
Um, it's kind of true. But we do like also treat the physical. Also, for example, people coming in for the pain, right? Shoulder pain, lower back pain, whatever pain. I do work on the physical part. Like if they have a very tight shoulder, I have a girl came in. She is a lawyer. One day she said, Dr. Kelly, I just literally cannot move my neck. She came in like statue, like
Right.
frozen, couldn't move her neck at all. So I did treat the local part of her neck. She felt better, but also I released the stress because she said, I'm working a law firm, sitting in front of the computer, it's a deadline. I feel very stressful. So that's actually cause her physical pain. So in Chinese medicine, we treat both.
So let me elaborate on that a bit. What I mean is that the emotional aspect of a human being could be the root cause to physical pain and physical issues that someone may have. You may treat it with herbs and acupuncture, whereas US practice may treat it with pills and medication for the physical. That's what I see as far as the differences. Not in every situation, but on a high level, that's what I mean.
Yes, I agree with you. So in Chinese medicine, we have like one is the root, one is the branch, right?
Hmm.
Usually it's kind of like the Western medicine treat more like the branch, like, oh, you have the pain. Okay, I give you a pill. So so your nerve not gonna work. You don't feel the pain. That's how usually people do. But Chinese medicine usually treat the root. Oh, why you have the pain? Oh, the pain is because stress. So let me release your stress. Then you're not gonna have pain. Or you have the
Mm,
pain because you don't have enough qi and blood. So I give you more qi and blood. So then you don't have the pain. So yeah, Chinese medicine more treating the root.
right. Great. Now, you mentioned you had a mentor and you're very grateful. Are you spreading that love to someone else, Dr. Kelly? Are you mentoring anyone?
Well, when my patients come in, I usually talk to them like you said. I give them acupuncture. I also kind of like
Hmm.
give them a little bit of therapy. This I have a young patient. He's pretty successful, only 30 something, running two company, but he has the palpitation because he has a very intense relationship with his father. He said,
Mm,
they have three kids, but his father like has the highest expectation just on him, and like restrict him to use his money and power.
hmm. Hmm.
He feel very unfair. So
Right.
that's why he got the palpitation. He had to take a high blood pressure pill every day to control his palpitation. So when he came in, of course, I gave him acupuncture, but I also talked him through. I said, look, your father give you the highest expectation. That could be because you're the smartest kid in your family. That's why your
Right.
father think you can dealing with it. You have the ability to achieve higher goal. So it's not
Right.
that your father don't love you. Of course, your father love you. It just he doesn't really know how to express his love. The high expectation is the way he think to show his love, but you don't feel comfortable. But he maybe didn't even know. So just try to
Right.
talk to him. So after
Hmm.
the therapy and acupuncture, he felt so much better.
Right, right. Well, Dr. Kelly, we're wrapping up this show, and I can talk to you for another hour. Your content, your information, how you explain what you do has been very educational for me and the audience. I will be down to visit you in your office. That's a promise. I liked hearing what you said. Everybody can use acupuncture. So give a quick, 10, 15 seconds on um, what somebody can expect when they're coming to see you.
So they will feel very relaxed. They will have more energy. They will feel their life is so much happier.
Great. Dr. Kelly, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for attending Undiscovered Gems, and we hope to have you back again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Charles.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Undiscovered Gems with our host, Charles D. Smith, highlighting today's best and brightest business minds. Brought to you by Pods Entertainment Group.